Hey guys, this is Kamikan, and I was wondering if you ever notice how in cartoons, especially in American cartoons, all subtlety goes out the window when you go from making cartoons for children to making cartoons for adults. If we take a look at, let's say, examples like Avatar or Teen Titans both from the 2000s, we have Avatar, one of the best stories ever told, where it involves genocide, it involves political intrigue, it involves deep lessons about martial arts and how to live life. And the writers used great care and found a way to convey their ideas to children without beating them over the head with it, or without explicitly saying like, oh, this is what happened. They didn't ever use the word genocide, but we got the idea. All of Aang's people were wiped out, and we understood based on the context clues that the story was giving us. But then all of that stuff goes out the window when you transition into, let's say, something like Korra, where they're just kind of giving you all the information. They're just kind of telling you stuff. They're not really designing it for kids. Like they just kind of, while they did up the age to sort of match the audience that grew up with Avatar, it's not like it became more mature just because we were dealing with an older character. It never really reached that level of maturity that the original had, and it was focusing on romance that wasn't supposed to really be there. It was focusing on plot beats that didn't really matter. Like it just didn't have that same spark. It didn't have that same cleverness or that respect for the audience's intelligence that the original Avatar had. Same thing with Teen Titans. Teen Titans, the early 2000s Teen Titans, 2003, was an awesome show. It was one of those awesome shows where it's like Teen Titans, Avatar: The Last Airbender, you don't even realize how good you have it until you grow up and start comparing it to everything else that you're seeing now or that you've seen afterward. It's one of those shows that's just up there in terms of quality, and they are able to talk about topics of like racism, talking about topics of emotional control, or talking about topics of world destruction, world ending threats, and yet make it understandable to a kid's mind without beating them over the head with it and saying like, oh, this is about being black, or oh, this is about being a slave owner, or whatever. It's not. It's using allegory, and it's using metaphors and similes to get the point across rather than beat you over the head with it. Whereas I'll see like maybe Teen Titans, not Young Justice, but I'll see like clips of older, quote unquote, like older versions of the Teen Titans. Not Teen Titans Go and not Justice League, the Bruce Timm version, but I'll see the animation in this newer style. But I'll see points where they're talking about sexual topics where it's just like, here's sex and this is what we talk about now. And I'm like, you just kind of threw it in my face. You didn't really like ease me into it. You didn't really like do something clever with it. You didn't really put it in a clever twist to where we get the idea without having to get our heads beaten with it. Another example would be between the early like Bruce Timm Batman and Justice League and all that stuff versus there was this movie with Nightwing and Harley Quinn, and I guess they were fighting, and Batman was involved somewhere in the down the line, and there it just would beat you over the head with the sexuality of it, and that's what made it adult versus being clever with it or giving it to you in a way that shows that, okay, this is for a mature audience, but it still respects your intelligence. Um, it's the same thing in comics too, where when they tried to make like something like DC Black Label, where we're gonna up the age and make it for adults now, is like, okay, we're gonna have the characters say fuck without censoring it, and we're gonna show Batman's penis. That'll show him. And it's like, okay, well, I guess that's more adult. But then you'll have something like Attack on Titan in Japan, where it's showing kids going through the harshness of war with these crazy monsters that they have to fight, and there's no penises, there's no fucking like nudity really, besides the monsters they have to fight. They don't really like curse in a way. Like it deals with such deep topics without beating you over the head with it. It does it cleverly, and that isn't even a seinen manga. Whereas in America, when we try to make things for adults, it's like, okay, we're gonna have nudity and swearing, and that's about the highest it'll go. It's not really about an ideological thing or a mental thing. It's more like, okay, on the surface level, this is what we do for adults, and that's what you get. And if you want something on that level of Attack on Titan, you would have to go ahead and read books like novels and that kind of thing written in America if you want that level of depth that you would see in something like Attack on Titan. And I just think that's unfortunate. It just turns out to be like that sometimes. And basically, because I've been so taken in by everything that I grew up watching, like Avatar: The Last Airbender, or Teen Titans, or Static Shock, or Justice League Unlimited, because I absorbed and through osmosis that writing style of cleverly getting your point across without beating the audience over the head, I was able to take what I learned and put it in my latest story, Saintly. It's a demon chase horror action comedy about two girls who are best friends, and they borrowed a loan from a demon, and now they have to pay him back. And basically, it's like Scooby-Doo meets K-pop Demon Hunters without the K-pop. And basically the story puts the character in a position where she has to decide between the hard path to success or lose her soul to the lure of easy money. And I hope you go ahead and check my story out in the link in the description below. It's going to be in black and white, and I have to do one more dialogue pass over it, but other than that, I'm going to be coloring it as well and uploading the full version so that you guys can see it. But yeah, that'll be all for now, and I hope you guys check that out. I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.